I'm not going in there.
It's art time with Mr. Mayberry. Let's get busy.
Welcome to Art Time with Mr. Mayberry. Today I'm going to show you how to draw a castle. So let's get started. It's time to make some art. Okay, today I'm going to show you how to draw a castle. Now feel free to use a ruler if you'd like, but I'm just going to draw mine freehand, so it'll look a little rough, a little sketchy by the time I get finished. But that's the way I'd like to draw today. So but like I said, if you want to use a ruler, you're welcome to do that. I'm going to turn my page vertically to start with. And remember to start off light, though, whatever you do use, whether you use ruler or not. Don't press down very hard at the beginning, because we might want to erase a few things as we go. So I'm going to start off by drawing a line. I'm just kind of drawing sketchy here across the page horizontally, and that looks like about 2.5, almost 3 inches from the bottom. If you're measuring, now you can just eye this. I'm going to start off by making some towers here on the sides, and this is basically going to be a castle that's made out of a lot of towers. We're going to have several towers on here. Okay, so I'm going to draw. This is the outside edges of the castle. Now, there are all kinds of castle designs. You might do well to look at some pictures of actual existing castles to get some ideas, because you could actually build a castle using ideas from many different castles. But this one's going to look kind of like an old, kind of a spooky looking castle. And I'm going to start off here drawing, here's the sides of where the towers are. And I'm going to put the other side of this tower here. And this castle today will look a little bit 3D, but it is going to be kind of flat as well. I'm not trying to make everything three-dimensional, but there will be some layering to it. So because of that, because of the overlapping, it will have a little bit of a 3D look to it. And I might make a few curves here and there. If I wanted to make it look completely 3D, I might make a few more curves than I'm going to today. But this is what I was wanting to share with you today. And so here's where the towers are. Now, at the top of the tower, these are outside towers. I'm going to put a place up here at the top where someone could stand if they were guarding the castle. And we start by making a rectangular shape, or rectangle shape. The top of this is very light. I want you to make it light because I'm going to change the contour, the outside edge of this, how it looks. So there's a rectangle shape there. I'm going to make the same kind of shape over on this side. Rectangular shape, about the same size. It sticks off past the edge on each side of the tower. Now again, you can make the towers as tall as you want. I could have turned the paper the other direction. I wanted to kind of emphasize how this castle stretches up tall, so that's why I turned it this direction. But you could have your paper the other way if you wanted a wider castle, or if you just wanted to do the picture, maybe the smaller castle and have more of the landscape around it. Okay, now why don't I go ahead and change the shape of the top of this. I notice this one's a little taller than that one. Tell you what, I want to go back and make it about the same size. It doesn't have to be exactly the same, but I'd like it to be a little closer than what I did draw it. So right about there. Okay, now what I'm doing here, I'm just making like a sawtooth line. Actually, this is more, sawtooth would be jagged, wouldn't it? This is just like there's blocks up here at the top and spaces in between that a person could look, or I don't know, maybe even put a weapon of defense there or something. But so it's not really a sawtooth. A sawtooth, I think, would be more like a zigzag line. But anyway, it's a line like that. Okay, and then I'm going to do that on the same thing over here on this side. I used to like to draw castles when I was younger. Medieval type themes were always kind of neat. If you look at, there's lots of castles in Europe, and castles, you'll see castles like this all in Great Britain and other places over in that part of the world. And I've never actually got a chance to visit a castle, but I think it would be a neat experience. Okay, so there's the top of the towers. Now, the rest of the towers that I'm going to be making are going to have this similar kind of a structure to it, just to let you know. And then there's going to be an opening here in the front that you go the front of the castle, the gate, the entrance. I'm going to make the wall here for that. And I'm going to do this part just a little different than what I did above. Let's see, I'm going to do that, and then I'll make the sawtooth line here. Instead of drawing a line all the way across, which I could, I'm just going to draw it out one part at a time here. Again, if you wanted to line these up perfectly, you could use a ruler and do it that way. I'm freehanding it today. Okay, next, alright, next I want to put windows in these towers, and I'm going to make more of a Gothic style window, so it's got a pointed top to it. And then I want to make a little bit of a like a balcony almost right here underneath. Same thing over here. Make a curve underneath. And I'm going to darken that in. You do things like this, it makes it look, the castle look big and drafty, and actually it makes it look older too, to have just open windows like this. Okay, and then I want to use kind of a Gothic shape here for the doorway. I think I'll curve the bottom of the tower just a little bit. And then here, instead of having a gate that's down, I'm going to make it partially down. I'm just going to make some bars that are going vertically, and then some that go horizontal across here. And I want to shade this in. Maybe a little darker towards the top. Okay, and then I'm going to make the drawbridge coming out here towards us. So because it is coming closer to us, it's going to start off smaller in the back and gets larger or wider here at the bottom, where it comes out closer to us, going across the moat. And I want to make it look like planks here, so I'm going to draw some horizontal lines. They would start off wider here at the bottom and then get closer together as the further up they go. Okay, then let's go ahead and work with the base, since that's where we're at. I'm just going to draw, this is sitting on kind of a rocky, it's not really a cliff, I guess it could be, but I'm not thinking that this is that tall. And then a line here where the drawbridge is resting on our side of the moat. Okay. Then I want to make, I'm going to make it look like this is kind of a rock, so I'm going to make some jagged edges on here. And then I'll use the side of the pencil to shade that in. Okay, and then I want to draw a line about this far up. This is where the other side of this moat is that goes around the castle. And we could even draw it, make it look like there's some water right here around the sides. And you can't really see where, I guess I could lighten this a bit here to make it look like the water is up on the edge of this rock here too. Okay, something like that. Okay, so now our castle is sitting somewhere, it's not just floating in space. Now, to make the walls of the castle, I want to make lines. I'm just going to go straight across. If I want to make it look more 3D, I could curve those, but for now I'm just going straight across with these and all the way up. I'm trying to space them out about the same height here from each other and try to do about the same over here. This is the part, like I said, if you wanted to use a ruler, you could do that, and then you get a line that goes straight all the way across. In the middle section, though, I want it to set like it's a little further back, so I'm going to change where the line is. It's not going to be in the exact same spot as the one beside it. So that way it looks like it's not directly in a row with it, but it's back a little bit. It's sitting back a little bit. Okay, now individual blocks, the way you do that, it's an alternating pattern. So I might put the width of a block here, and the next line would go in between, but it can't because of that window. So what you're doing is you're going back and forth with where your lines are. The ones not directly below, but the two lines below, or two segments below, will be directly under the one up here. So this one would have one directly under it right here. This one I go down to, and it's right here. And I can continue that down here. Down two right here, down two right here. And same over here. So once you have it figured out, it's just a matter of filling things in and making sure everything is where it's supposed to be, so that you have an alternating pattern there. Okay, same with this. On this piece, it'd probably be a little easier just because there's so much space visible here, so much of the wall that you can see. But it's just an alternating pattern, just like that. And if you happen to miss one of them, it would probably be okay. It's probably not going to be noticed because there are so many stones on here. Okay, now I'd like to add a few more towers. So I'm going to kind of block those in. I think I'll put one right about here. And we'll go up this high with it. And then let's put one behind on this side. Now normally a castle like this, if it's a square design from above, then you'd have one of these towers on each corner. If it's wider than that, you might have a tower like every, I don't know how far, but every so often you'd have a tower. This one I'm thinking these could be corners, but I'm going to make another one here too. Let's see, I'll put one right here in the middle that's going to be the tallest. So it should probably actually overlap that one. So I'm going to make this one in the center of the castle here. It's not directly in the center, but it's in the center of these other towers. Okay, and I'm going to sketch out where these tops of these castles are. Or these towers, I mean. Top of the towers. If I was wanting to make more of a princess castle, I might make a pointed roof here above this part right here, and then put maybe a flag on top. But this is, like I said, this is supposed to be like an old English type castle. So I'm going to finish this out. Again, feel free to change this to make your own design, but hopefully you'll you're learning some of the techniques that you can use on whatever design you want to make. Gonna make this a little wider. Alright, erase in between. Okay, I'll make the windows here again. Okay. Do some research on castles, you could probably find out more information as far as what other things might be on the castle or in the castle, part of the castle, near the castle. All those kind of questions, you could answer those and include that in your work as well. Okay, now I'm going to do a little bit of shading with this. I want to shade on these towers just behind this first tower right here a little bit. Make it look like it's a little farther back maybe. This one's behind here, so a little bit of shading right there. And I think I'll shade some right here. Maybe this right here. Might go back over some of these lines and make them darker, redefine where they're at, show where they're at. And go back, go back over some of those lines. And maybe one more line for her, like a horizon line back here. And I could work more with the background, but I'm more interested in the castle today. And this is our project for today, the castle. Oops, one more thing. Since this is a drawbridge here, you might want to actually attach some chains so that the bridge could be lifted up. And then I made a little bit of a darker opening here on each side that the chains would go into as it's drawn, the bridge is drawn up. So that's one thing I left out, but you might want to include that. And then also make sure you shade in all the areas. I left this open as well. So just one little extra that I thought you would like to know.
Well, that's all for today. If you'd like to show me the castle that you've made, just paste it in the comments below. Remember to like, share, and subscribe, and I'll see you next time.
See you later. Hi, bye.